All right, Don, you know what's going on. You know how the world's playing out, Don Lawrence. You ready to rock or what?
Yeah,
Look, see, guys, usually he's the one. He's the one that talks to you, usually, and it's not going to be him today. He's too much messing around with the phone.
Both of you guys.
Now, I tried to give a swearing for Lent, Don. Don't make me swear, okay?
Yeah, you know what? On the Daily Dose, you swore.
Did I?
So you're already.
Listen, that's what's called Catholic forgiveness, okay? Billy Ferguson's already watching. Let's go over in the chat if you wouldn't mind, ma'am. See who we got. Zach,
what's up, buddy?
Zach, do me a favor, buddy.
Steve Kreitz. Hey, Steve.
Zach, text your brother, Ben, and tell him I'm doing the show right now, so I can't talk. Go Blue. Sherry Hoffman's in the house. Sherry, you never guess who the guest is today, girl. He is in the green room waiting to make it happen.
And you notice the green room. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm telling you, absolutely.
Go green.
Oh, you're killing me. Go green. Killing me. Go green. Unbelievable. Dollar bills. That Steve Christ knows what's up. I'm telling you. Ash Wednesday. You ain't kidding.
You're right, Zach.
All right,
what'd you give up, Zach?
What did you give up, Zach?
All right, let's get this going. Let's get the show going.
Oh, we did switch spot. We're trying to keep it crazy.
All right.
Trying to keep it crazy, you know? We're trying to keep everybody at bay. Billy Ferguson, you missed a week or two. Oh, Sherry, we see you. We see you. All right?
Let's roll.
I'm Scott.
I'm Don.
And we're talking real estate. All right, Don. It's going to be a crazy show. The guest we got on today is going to be outrageous. I guarantee it. I guarantee it's going to be outrageous.
I'm excited.
So he is a fan favorite. I mean, he's already whooping up in the green room. I can already see him. Rocky Balboa over there. I'm telling you. So
MMA.
So the question of the show, Don, we're going to try to go caption free today. We're going to try to. Melissa's talking otherwise, but we'll see what happens. You know what I mean? So the question for the show is, do you like your neighbors?
And so we got a little story on how this all came about. So explain how that all came about.
Well, so people were talking about their neighbors. Like different people were going like, I love my neighbors. They snow blow my stuff. And someone else, their main name was said the neighbors they blew the snow right by the property line. They didn't even help me out.
Went all the way there, and that was it.
Yeah,
they turned it back around.
Do you love your neighbors? Do you hate your neighbors? Tell us what's going on. Somebody's talking about Michigan State getting killed already. Listen to that. Oh, Shelly Gambino is in the house. I'm telling you.
Hey, so I like my neighbors. I went and snow blowed my neighbors to the right, single woman, and to my neighbors to the other side. And I was out there before they were, and it was, just feels good to help people out,
It does. So throw Sherry Hoff out there if you wouldn't mind. So a couple of our fans here, a couple of our viewers who want to give a little love to. Good friend Sherry Hoff, or Kathy Cordy says, love our neighbors. See, she loves her neighbors. Who else? Let's see who else we got. How about there's Sherry Hoffman says she loves her neighbors too.
They're towards the bottom. I'm truly blessed with my wonderful neighbors.
You know who that is, don't you?
Your mom?
It sure is. Chris Bergeron. So she told me, she called me. She's like, yeah, I got stuck in the driveway. I go, why you call me? She goes, well, I called Rob, my brother-in-law. Right? She goes, well, Mark, he takes a tractor and does all the whole block and stuff. And it was like, I'm like, okay, who does the whole block? How'd you get stuck? So she didn't tell me all that business. So just so you know, she went to church. She almost was going to miss it, but she went to church and said, I'll be right back. She promised she'd be right back. So that's good. So let's see who else we got. Somebody said they have not met their neighbors yet. Who's that? Let's see. Billy Ferguson has not met his neighbors, all right? So if you live over on Campbell Street, say hello to Billy. So everybody's got the best neighbors. So I know there's some people that have neighbors from hell, though. So the question of the show is, do you like your neighbors? If you have neighbor stories, throw us a neighbor story because we would love to hear about that, right?
Yes, absolutely. Come on, Steve. No state, go blue.
Oh, you're killing me.
Hey, I just had to ruffle the feathers a little bit.
They're getting killed, man. State is getting killed by every sport they play.
Somebody pointed out that the basketball team got smoked yesterday. And,
they did.
I haven't been following it, really. So, but hey, what you going to do? So
R. Jones is about 50-50 my neighbors. Some are cool, others not so much. So somebody said no comment. So Don, there's really not a way you can screen it for neighbors, is there?
No. Well, before you buy, you can go and talk to the neighbors.
You can. And people can check out and see what they got in the yard. If they got a bunch of trash in their yard, I will tell you.
Yeah, but I'm not going to
tell you who it is.
That doesn't mean they're not nice neighbors.
They leave a bunch of crap later on. They're probably not nice neighbors. They're probably lazy.
Well, there's a difference between being lazy and not being nice.
I'm just telling you that I have a client that moved just recently because they wanted to get away from their neighbors.
Yeah, well,
that was the whole point. The guy's like, I cannot get his neighbor anymore.
Yeah, I get that. I get that.
Bass Phillips loves their neighbors.
Yeah, well, they live on the lake.
Yeah. How hard can it be on the lake with neighbors? All right.
Everybody knows everybody there.
So Steve Craig's still waiting. We're listed a house across the street from him. He and Pat, the wonderful neighbors there, they check on the house all the time. Yeah. That's what I mean, guys. So it's an interesting thing, the neighbors thing. It's definitely an interesting thing.
Good neighborly thing to do.
Yeah. So we were going to do maybe like a mortgage bid or something like that, but I would just say, Don, the funny stuff is not the funny stuff, but the interesting is our topic today, okay? I heard people complaining or positive, negative about, well, they didn't plow the streets yet. So I started thinking about city services, right? So city services, what do you get for your tax money, for your property tax money? What do you get? So we're going to kind of go through those a little bit. We're also going to have a PDF for you that shows the different millages that you pay and things like that. So, and we did 5 counties, right? So we did Monroe, Washtenaw, Wayne, Macomb, and Oakland. Okay, so we're going to do that. Zach gave up pot, buddy.
Good job, Zach.
Fast food, too. Come on, man. That's like torture for me.
Oh, he threw 2 things in there. His neighbor dog barks, too.
If you're a block that we have had a little problem with, like when the SWAT team ended up in our kitchen.
My goodness.
Yes, that's awesome.
What's that all about? That's
what's
story
funny?
there.
Is I talked to a former wrestler of mine as a police officer, and another former wrestler of mine said that they use their house as a stakeout point here in Dearborn Heights. Yeah. So that's like a common thing. Yeah. Like my neighbor has a SWAT team called in on me. That's awesome.
Oh, so that makes sense why she had that there then.
Yeah, that's a different one. It's different. That's
no, I know, but I'm just saying that now I understand that.
Yeah.
All right, I get it.
So now let's get into the city services thing.
All right.
I feel like, first of all, guys, nothing's ever going to be equal. Every place is going to have positive negatives, yeah?
I think so, yeah.
But we're just going to talk about basic city services. And you can chime in as much as you want about different things in the city services and that, but your tax dollars, what are they paid for, right? So we're going to give you 5 things that the ones we thought were the most important.
6.
Yeah, 5 or 6, yeah.
And the things that people typically look for when they go to that city.
Right,
to a city. When they're moving to a city, these are things that are important. And number 1 on the list is schools. If you have strong schools, typically appreciate property values are a little bit higher because people with kids want to be in a good school district. So schools are very, very important. And it's the biggest part of the tax bill are your schools. They're so important for your teachers, the school buildings. I mean, it's a huge, huge operation that takes a lot of money to run. So, and of course, that's the reason why it's the biggest expense.
Right. That's what people look for, right? A lot. So we're going to, again, share a PDF with you, a shareable link for a PDF with you at the end. So you can look and see, here's the mills. Like I never thought, like I had a couple clients that are buying in Monroe now because taxes are cheaper. The amount of millage they pay in Monroe is way cheaper than here in Wayne County. I mean, it's like half,
right?
Which is crazy.
And why is that? You wonder why that is. Yeah. Are they getting all the same service? I didn't live in Monroe, so I don't know. But are the services equal? Are there a few things that are less? It's interesting. It would be interesting to know. Compare those things that I think are hard to do unless you live in that area.
Right. So in the chat, if schools are your most important city service, put it in the chat. Yes, they are. Or no, they are. If schools are the biggest, most important city service for you, put it in the chat. That's the most important city service for you. Number 2, Don, is your public safety, right? Public safety, your police officers, your fire, your courts, your justice, all that good stuff. That's a huge one. Absolutely. You have to feel safe where you live.
Yep.
You have to feel safe where you live.
Yep.
I mean, you do.
We work here in Dearborn, and we're on Michigan Avenue, and we see the police up and down the street a lot, cruising Michigan Avenue, pulling people over, and they're typically in force. When a cop pulls somebody over, there's another cop car or 2 that come by really, really quick, and they stop. So Dearborn has a lot of police officers, I think, on their staff, and I think that's a big expense in the city of Dearborn. But people like that. They feel comfortable. It makes them feel secure in their city. Right,
and you hope for you never have to use emergency services. You really do. Okay.
Response time too.
Right, but you hope you don't have to use because the fire department. You hope they don't come. Right.
It's like insurance. If you have it and you don't need it, okay. If you need and don't have it, that's a big issue.
Well, I'll give you an example. So my neighbor built this house next door to me. It was empty. Built it maybe 10 years ago by himself, him and his buddies. Right. So the garage caught on fire. and Dearborn was out there and they put it out. But I mean, it was quick. Like it was going up in flames pretty quick. So you want those city services. So if city services, or I'm sorry, if police and fire is your most important city service, put that in the chat. Tell us that. We'd love to hear it. Because again, we're curious. We're curious realtors. We want to know those things.
What are people?
So far you got schools and you got police, fire, which is your public safety, right? What's 3 now?
Number 3, Department of Public Works. This is a big expense too, because you have the roads, you have maintenance. Water main breaks, obviously this time of the year, that's a huge problem, and it's expensive, and they've got to go out there in the middle of the night, so they're paying their employees extra because it's after hours and it's colder than hell out there. It's really not colder than hell. It's really cold.
Yes, he just swore. He just swore. The good Catholic boy just swore. Yep.
Park maintenance, cutting grass, those sort of things. So that's a big expense, Department of Public Works. And of course, trash pickup is in that as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's a huge expense.
Like I know when I first moved to Dearborn, Don, when I first moved in the house, we cleaned a bunch of stuff out that was already there, and then we put like 50 bags of garbage out, and like 3 dudes just jumped out of the truck and they took it all. Now, if I do that, I got to get a special pickup and all that kind of things.
Yeah, it's changed.
It's definitely different. And I know my mom always talks about the golden age of Dearborn, right? Where they used to shovel your walk and do all this other stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah. See, Kathy Cordy says, "Where's the swear?" Don doesn't have the swear jar, Kathy, because he's a nice guy. He doesn't have the swear jar. I know I am.
I let one.
It's always the quiet guys, Kathy. It's always the quiet guys.
One HELL word fly out of my mouth.
I'm kind of biased to the fire department, so Shelly's son works for the fire department, and Christian, what a great kid. I mean, think about those people, guys, and it's. I only talk soapbox for a minute on this. Is that they go into harm's way every day.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what they do.
They're running into the fire. People are running out of that thing. They want to run away from it. So yeah, absolutely. That's a gutsy thing to do. My
man, Silvio Davis. I mean, I don't know. That guy should be a public service. I'm telling you, that guy's all over the place. Silvio, my friend, good to see you. Good to see you. So far we got 3 things so far: schools, public safety, right? Fire, police. That kind of stuff, and then DPW, roads, water mains. I tell you what, in Dearborn Heights, man, when I was growing up, and I know Mel could probably speak to this too, it feels like the water main by Annapolis High School broke all the time. I feel like that broke more than once when I was going to school.
We lived across the street from it.
That's true. That's true.
So
I didn't clog it up or anything. I mean, I used a lot further, but I didn't clog it that. You know.
Hey, you're throwing that out there, bud.
Yeah.
So did you have the day off because there wasn't water at the school?
Yeah, absolutely. You had a day off. You always did.
So
absolutely.
Days off, huh? So you had water main break days, huh? Not just library, not just.
So give us Silvio Davis out there for a second. So, guys, for those of you that don't know, the last comment at the bottom. Yep, you got it. Yep. So just so for you guys that don't know, Silvio Davis is a legend in the Dearborn area. If you ever need an adult Coke, stop by his house because he's always got them on tap. So you know what I mean? Always adult pop, right? An adult pop, a beer, boozy beverage.
Okay. All right. Adult beverage. All right.
So number 4, Don, what do you got for number 4? City services.
Libraries.
Libraries, absolutely. Things like libraries and informational kind of stuff.
Yeah, right? Absolutely. And if you use your library in your city, let us know. That's a really important thing. I like to go to my library. I get books from my library all the time, and if I like it, I might buy the book. But I use the library. It saves me money, and they're there for a good purpose. And if you talk to librarians, they'll suggest things to you if you might want to read or some new topic or whatever.
So I'm just saying. So Darren,
like
Tom's all worried about what I'm looking at. So go Mel. See, give Mel a shout out. People love having Mel on this to be around the show. She keeps us in line now. She definitely does. So Dearborn, I mean, the Dearborn Public Library is gorgeous. It's like a monument, basically, right? And it's huge.
How many do they have? 4?
Yeah, but they got the one big one, the main, right? But they had one. Yeah. They had one down the street from me off Telegraph here in Oxford, and it's been closed for 15 years.
Yeah,
and just the building just sits there, so I have no idea.
They need to bring back the water fountain.
Yeah, they do. That's true.
I used to go there with my family all the time.
So you guys hear it? Can you hear it? Wait, can you hear it? Go ahead.
What?
Tell them.
The fountain at the Bicentennial.
Yeah, the fountain at the Bicentennial Library is pretty awesome. Absolutely.
It's very nice. It was very nice. Yeah. So libraries are really important and cost some money. So
now you got the people talking about how to break toilets. Yeah,
I didn't say anything about it. I just
Steve,
threw that
Chris
out there.
Bergeron, stop letting it out of the bag, will you? Stop letting it out of the bag.
What
Come
Steve
on.
Christ
Blue
put in
light
it?
pop.
Yeah. The blue light pop. You ain't got it.
Great.
So I'm telling you. So neighbors are so important. Bab says our neighbors were she knows all the names. She names them all. Wow. She named them all and everything.
Wow.
They probably made sure Don came in at a good hour and stuff like that too, didn't they, Babs? They probably did.
Oh, yeah.
So Don, the
Steve
last one, the one that people don't think about, and in real estate, I think about this more than most folks do, is a city clerk. Like if somebody passes away in a city, whether it be Dearborn Heights or whatever, you can go and get a death certificate for that.
Right.
I mean, I remember going to actually getting one. I had a client that was closing here. The lady died in Ohio. So RJ and I jumped in the car, went to Cleveland, got the death certificate in Cleveland. So city clerk keeps all your records, your death certs, your marriage licenses, your voting registration stuff, all that stuff, city clerk.
Yep, very important.
So,
but you also have not just only city clerk, but real estate related is the assessor, which is very important. You have to.
yeah, that means they're taking money from you. That's all.
Yeah, but
I try to keep the taking money part quiet.
Well, that's the treasurer that's taking the money, but
Yeah,
they're the ones that impose it.
Right. So we don't talk about those
But
guys.
yeah, but they're important. I mean, it's the city hall services are important.
Right.
So.
I tell you what, I was looking at, I think Dearborn Heights or Dearborn, I couldn't remember which one. But some of the departments I'm going, what does that department do? I couldn't really figure it out. Because there was about 3 or 4 things that said public works type of names, and I was like, maybe not.
Mm-hmm.
So guys, city services, like I said, at the end of the show, we're going to give you a link to a PDF that you can go to. You know what I mean? Ooh, the rec department.
Rec department. Very
good. See, he's keeping us on point. Chris Wojcinski just made it in too. So
Parks and Rec.
yeah, Parks and Rec, like the show.
Like the show.
So you're definitely getting some value for your tax dollars, but understand that tax dollars, they make a big, they add to your mortgage too. Think about that, Don. If your taxes, whatever they are, divide that by 12, that's what you're paying extra on top of your mortgage.
Yep.
So people get all bent out of whack about their mortgage payment. Well, if your taxes are $3,600 a year, that's $300 a month. That's quite a bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What about like beautification too? Is that factored in there?
Yeah, part of DPW, I would say. Part of DPW. So, guys, in the chat, again, if you haven't already, tell us which one of these 5 is most important. Schools, police and fire, DPW, libraries, or city clerk. Which of those 5? And we'll add 6. We'll call it rec. Parks and rec. We'll call it 6. Which one's most important? Throw that in the chat for us. We'd love to hear your opinion, your thoughts, and ideas. All right? So
from city services to a city.
To the city, my city. So we got a celebrity, ladies and gentlemen, coming out today.
My city.
Okay, this guy's known all across downriver as just a legend and an innovator in the world. Ready, drum roll. Big Brian Ambrose is in the house. B, how we doing?
Good, guys. Good. How are you guys?
Fantastic. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to be with us.
I tell you what, I always enjoy. I don't always catch it at 7, Scott, but I always tell you, I always try to pop in. I do learn typically some things when I come on here, or at least it'll validate some things for me, or it will challenge my thinking on real estate a little bit. But to go to your guys' question, I currently have just terrific neighbors. The one neighbor that I have who's on the east of me, guy has a brick pizza oven on his patio.
Oh man.
It's every other Friday of the week during the summertime. He fires it up, man. And this guy, so he makes the dough like the night before, and so it's a big shindig. We all get
really wow. What the heck?
Yes, it's pretty incredible. So like talk about, and then this weekend he came over and saved me. I was getting tired. I was doing all my shovel yesterday. He comes over at the very end. He had his snowblower out, fixed me up the rest of the way. So yeah, great neighbors that I have over here. So to answer that.
Very nice, very nice. So, Brad, let me throw the second question at you. What city service is most important to you?
Well, I think for me, having 3 kids, right? Schools played a big part. You know what I mean? So I think it probably depends on, if I was probably elderly without kids, I would probably say, at that point, I would probably be leaning towards safety. What kind of city am I living in from a safe standpoint? So probably just depends on, everybody's situation,
What's stage you're in life? Yeah, I mean that's a pretty easy, obvious thing, right? If you're younger and you're starting a young family like you guys are, your schools are really important. If you're older, maybe police and fire, maybe library, city, all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yep. So for right now, for me, I'd say schools, but currently where I'm at, it's pretty safe out here too. So
Yeah, buddy, you're definitely safe over on the island there. You know what I mean?
a
Speaking of
criminal,
which, do you have any word on the bridge, the free bridge? When's that opening up, buddy?
yeah, who knows? I'd hate to commit to thing. They say I think at earliest, at best, we're looking at late fall, maybe early winter of 2021 here. So I'll hold my breath for that.
Yeah.
So,
So it's pretty easy what we do on this on My City Highlight. We just want people to know more about your city that you're at, right?
100%, yeah.
So give us, let's go with the top 5. Let's go one at a time now. What do you got?
So out on Groseal, one of the things I think my top 5, right, is grand as some of the houses are out here, high level, medium income, but it's really a community that wants to get you outside, right? There's boating. We've got a couple yacht clubs. You've got golf clubs. You've got public golf as well. So you don't have to become a member. You've got community trails. You've got bike paths. It really is a place that just says that's going to encourage a healthy lifestyle for you and get you out of your house, right? So that's what I think is pretty unique about Groseal. As nice as the houses are, they do a lot in this community to push you out of your house. So I think that's pretty cool. That's probably like my number one thing that I've noticed. Like the rec department here is pretty rock on.
Wow, that's awesome.
That's
that's a
awesome.
Perspective I never even heard of. So that's awesome. Great one.
Hey, so B, just so you know, your good friend Barb Banier is watching right now. Barb, you shout out. What's up, BB?
Barb's on the call here. Fire up.
Absolutely, she's checking you out. You know she is. Sherry Hoffman was on earlier, so all kinds of your faithful Lincoln Park Middle School people are there.
Good people. Good people.
So what do you got for 2? Give us 2.
So 2, the other thing that I know is you're going to get out in Groseal, you're not necessarily going to get in a lot of other places, is the wildlife. The biodiversity is in full swing here on the island, right? You're going to see deer just about every day, which, for my kids, they love it, right? I mean, they know, like, hey, there's a buck out here. How many, 8 points. It's got 8 points, so between all the birds that you get, like, I come in here and I see cardinals and blue jays every day, for the most part in the summertime. And that didn't happen, when I was living in Lincoln Park. So between owls that I've seen, turkey vultures that I've seen, fox, coyotes, deer, biodiversity is like I said, is in full effect out here, and it's pretty cool.
So, B, do the deer, they taunt you? Because you can't hunt on the island, right? You can't hunt on the island.
To my knowledge, you can't hunt on the island. I think they do, like the police, I believe, do a call on occasion because, the numbers do get pretty rampant. So from what I understood, last year was like the first year where they took a few out. I think the police department did it. And then I think what they do is from what I'm told, they donate the meat to like a community spot where, they can cook it up and give it to the needy, give it to the homeless.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I just wonder the deer like look at you go, nah, you can't shoot me or something like that.
I tell you what, you can get really, really close to these guys. I mean, they're right up on your window.
And they don't care. They no reaction or anything?
I mean, the doe are a little more antsy, but the buck a lot of times when they're out and they just kind of pick their head up and they look and they're like, well, you gonna do anything? If not, I'll go back to eating.
Wow.
So I like it. Some native out here that's been out here longer, like, you got to protect your flowers because they'll eat those up. I mean, that's just delicious for them.
Yeah, that's true. I never thought of that. So what do you got for 3?
All right. So for number 3, obviously I just moved out here, right? So Groseal Hardware is my number 3. This place is awesome. So Groseal Hardware, it's like a man's convenience store, right? So at this place, you can get whatever you need to get your job done. They also sell beer, liquor, wine at this hardware store and guns. So like you can go to that store, pick up whatever you need to fix your toilet, pick up a 6-pack of beer and grab yourself a handgun if you're really into it. Like they're like a deli counter and a TV short of being heaven. And just
so you can get a Sawzall, a shotgun, and a 6-pack all at once, huh?
You can get it all there. Like I said, I mean, you put a deli counter in there with a TV and just call it like men's heaven.
That's pretty good.
I like the alcohol being there because if the job's not going all that great, at least you win some other way, right?
Absolutely. Look, it's probably a decent recommendation to say, do you know what you're doing, bud? And if the answer is no, you're going to want to take this 6-pack home with you because you're going to need to be doing a lot of reading.
So real quick, Brian, somebody asked, and you might know this, you might not. Is Lloyd still open?
Okay, so Lloyd's just reopened. In fact, I went there last week, and I just went there last week and I got a seafood platter, and it was delicious. And I noticed that some people were getting pizza. So Lloyd's just reopened. It looks fantastic in there. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, they're the same owners that own Turago and Trenton. And I liked Turago and Trenton. I thought it was, fantastic. So if they are the same owners, I'm probably going to like it at Lloyd's. But I did just get the seafood combo platter there this past week, and it was perfect. It was fantastic.
That's awesome. Very cool. So Steve Kreitz, one of our regular fans, wants to know what's the address to the Grill Seal, the hardware store.
You know what? There's not many roads, right? So if you get off you get off that Pay Bridge, you're gonna go south on Meridian, and then there's Macomb Street. Just take it down. It's pretty much at the end of Macomb, just before you get to East River. It's right on the right.
So we're gonna have Mel look it up on the internet while you're talking next to find the Grill Seal hardware. It's like false advertising if it's just hardware. It should be like Grill Seal hardware and mainly goods or something.
And it's like it was like originally like a house, right? And they just kept building, they turned it into a store. Because when you go through there, I'd gone in there many times, and then finally I was like, dude, I just can't find enough little nooks and crannies in this place. Like they just pop up, something else cool is in that joint. So and then right next to the hardware is Grozeal Bakery. Yeah. And I'll tell you, it's like I have a hard time going to the hardware because if my window's down, the smells that come out of Grozeal Bakery, I just park, go in, grab some donuts, whatever they got. It's like anything else: coffee, lotto, donuts, fantastic.
So okay, I'm kind of fixated on this hardware store thing. Is the same person that gives you the drill, gives you the gun, and sells you the beer too, the same guy?
Dude, and they're all knowledgeable about every one of those things. It's amazing. The guy I will talk to, and then I'll be like, "Oh man, you guys got this." They're like, "Yeah, dude, it's a big hit," and he'll tell me about it, and then he's like, "Wait, we're gonna get this too," and then it's like, "Yeah, you want to go over and hold a couple different guns?" He'll tell you all about it.
So the good Chris Bergeron says it's 7737 Macomb. So if anybody wants to go, it's 7737 Macomb.
It's the coolest joint. You got to check it out, and they're good people in there. It's like a couple that's owned it for like a long, long time, and they do a terrific job. So I like going there.
We might have to have them on for a little bit because I never heard that combination before in my life.
It's awesome.
Yeah, maybe we'll go on location. You meet us there, B. We'll go on location.
Absolutely. Listen. They'll probably give us permission. I think we might be able to drink in the parking lot. Who knows?
That's awesome.
Shoot some targets.
Yeah, shoot some targets. Can't hit any deer though. You want to shoot targets, right?
Fake deer.
So we got 4.
All right. So 4, oddly enough, so considering the pandemic and the fact that we have to now, there is no free bridge, I put Kroger and the Kroger flower department. The Kroger flower department, it's a small Kroger. It's not a super center, right? But what's cool about this place is pretty much it's like if you go and ask them to order you something to have in the store, they're like pretty willing. They'll do it for the most part. Like as far as I go in there and there's somebody will be like, "Hey, do you have this?" And I'm like, "No, but do you shop here? Would you like me to order it?" Like I've heard that conversation go on. So I think that's pretty neat. It's something that you would see in like a local meat market type of thing, like, in the neighborhoods. But these guys are great here. They really are accommodating. But their flower department, I buy flowers from there and they last forever. Like they're almost doing too good of a job, right? Because I don't buy flowers more often. Like I don't know what that lady does, but whoever's in charge of that flower department, she's incredible. So
we called your wife on right now and she came out on the screen here. Would she tell us you did it too or no?
Listen, bud, I can walk you around this house. I got 3 flower vases, filled with flowers. I got carnations. I got a bouquet mix. I got tulips over there. Like I'm ready to stock to go because not only can you get like beautiful flowers, like you get them at a pretty reasonable price.
That's awesome. So we're still getting all kinds of questions. Is there a llama farm on the island you know of?
Yes, there is a llama farm. And I've not been there yet. Obviously, I moved here like right at pandemic time, right? So I don't know like all the rules. But to my knowledge, there is a llama farm. Like they breed them and they sell them. Like it's here. It's pretty, yeah. So I just read that recently, and I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. I got it all.
That's awesome.
More outdoor stuff.
Yeah, more outdoor stuff. Something to visit. So.
I think Don and I probably would come over and ride some llamas. We do some llama racing.
I don't know, man. I don't know what I'm not even 100% confident what a llama looks like.
All right, what do you have for 5, my friend?
All right, so 5, and I just put for 5 really that when you come here, it really is truly a different feel. When you go across the bridge, like it doesn't feel like you're in downriver anymore, so to speak. You know, you're kind of in the river, right? And you are down on that river, but it just feels completely different. You've got all these old, really tall trees that are hanging around. You've got so much nature, and you don't have a major. You can't go over 35 miles. Well, you can, but there's no road over 35 miles an hour on Grosse Ile, right? So it just has a totally different feel, I think, than most of the places downriver. And, you know, it's like the privacy kind of because of that, right? Which some people really enjoy. I know, like, I think there's like a part of Grosse Ile that's kind of like come into blows. Like, do they want to become like a seasonal town, so to speak, in the summer? But some people just like how quiet it is out here and the privacy of it and all the trees and the nature. So it's just a completely different feel. Like if you want to move, but you can't move far from work, you know, and take a look because it's going to be a different feel from some of the other places, you know, and you're not far from Wyandotte.
It feels like up north to me.
It really does. And you're not far from Wyandotte, which has got a great cool downtown, right? So if you're missing the city, hey, you know, you're not far from Wyandotte, go visit it. But if it's like, it's quiet out here.
Yeah, so a couple comments from the audience. Lisa from Remy's Mission, our good friend, said she grew up in Grosse Ile. Go Devils! Best place to be a kid. Your kids love it, don't they?
They're having a blast because if it's not the deer, right, it's just the expansive space they got. Halloween was crazy. With the neighborhood we moved in, when I told them, I was like, they're like, where are you at? And I was like, in Jewel Colony. They're like, oh my gosh, Jewel Colony, that's a great neighborhood. Wait for Halloween. And I'd like Halloween came, it was like a movie. You know, just kids, parents, people everywhere, all over the streets. Just it was nuts. It was like a scene from the Goonies or something. You know,
well, so they do that witches walk or something, don't they?
They do. They have like parades and stuff like that. So that the witches walk they did was like part of a parade.
Yeah.
You know, right on Macomb, which is really neat. But they do a lot of cool stuff. But yeah, my kids they're loving it. You know, we even put up like a zip line in our backyard, so my kids can go up on the zip line and go from like a tree to a tree. It's a blast.
So there's no public beach on the island, is there?
Actually, for some reason, I think I read that there was, and I tried to find it, and I don't know where it's at. Right. So, but I don't know, but I know like a lot of people go to like, if you have a boat or your boater, like some people will shoot over to some of these other islands that have like a beach that you can kind of dock and beach at. But somebody said there was, and I tried to find it and look it up. And I don't know, maybe I was driving at night or something. That was probably a bad idea.
Yeah, probably. Hey, so tell us about the airport.
So yeah, they have a municipal airport where you can pretty much, you can take classes there. Right. And then I know that my cousin did a helicopter tour of Detroit, and they launched out of Grosse Ile Airport for the helicopter tour of Detroit, like, you know, Skyline Detroit. So, because it was at one point in time, there was a naval base, you know, on Grosse Ile. That was a naval base down at the at the south end of the island. So,
I'll share this with you and the audience too. So, my girlfriend and I were thinking about going to Traverse City. So I go, I wonder if you can fly from Grosse Ile. Yeah, it's $7,200 to fly from Grosse Ile to Traverse City. $7,200. I go, yeah, that's never happening ever in life.
You might want to drive that one.
It's got to be private jet. Yeah, private jet. It's got to be. I just was curious. I'm going. I type in Grosse Ile and then Traverse City. Yeah, it's $7,000. Yeah, so that's
I would think that you probably have a range of options. Maybe you could take like a Cessna, but I don't know about you. I'm probably not ever getting in a Cessna, right?
Yeah,
so it would have to be a private jet for me to get one of
those.
Don
Lawrence would. He's a pretty big thrill seeker, so Don probably would.
I respect that.
So, my sister Julie Long is a runner. She says Grosse Ile is home to one of my favorite half marathons, the Rock CF. I don't know what that means.
I don't know either, but I'm in. I ran a half marathon before in Nashville, Tennessee, and I probably should train to run another one, you know, because I could use some of this pandemic weight I've gained.
Listen, buddy, you and I both. The only guy in shape, the only people in shape here is Mel and Don. The rest of us are all. The rest of us all can't make it.
If I could be as fit as Don, I'd be a very happy guy.
You ain't kidding, buddy. Listen,
thank you.
He's like he takes the anti-aging pills too. Like you'd never be able to guess how old he is. He's 174 years old. He looks like he's 50. I'm telling you, like I look his birth records up. He's from way far a long time ago.
Dude, I saw the commitment in the commercials. You know, getting knocked out of the chairs and running. Like I'm like, dude, this guy.
Oh my gosh, let's go.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So real quick,
So the
So that
CF
one's where we
stands for
headed to
cystic
Northern Monroe County.
fibrosis.
yeah, the fourth one from the bottom. The one says we're headed in. So people are trying to get away from the city, Pete. Just to kind of not a jump on a different topic, but I have a couple of groups, actually like 2 sets of the same family moving to Northern Monroe County for the same idea, for just that country living.
Well, it's funny because you talked about city services a little bit, and what's different about Groseal is a township. So one of the things when you do come out here is the roads are just brutal. They're awful. And if you've ever driven on some of these main roads, like it is pothole heaven. And Bill Stevenson, they have the Groseal Grand. He wrote a great article about the fact that you are a township and you're not a city, and that there are certain things that you get because the Wayne County owns all basically the priority roads. But Wayne County has like this kind of determination factor of who gets funding. And because Groseal is a 10,000 resident community, your road's in bad shape, but you're not going to see a lot of accidents because nothing goes over 35 miles an hour. And I can't remember what the other one was, but they have a determining factor, and it's just we don't hit 2 of them. Yeah, you got a bad road, but you got to compete with all these other roads too that the county's responsible for.
Yeah, I got you. So, we've been talking for quite a long time, so let's do this. Give us some great restaurants.
Okay, great. So Lloyd's Bar is at the top of my list just because I ate there recently. Smokies is a place I would go to because it's semi-close to the water. You can see the water. Yeah, you get some of the industrial view, but I like Smokies. I think their pizza is underrated. I haven't been to API because it's been closed. That's the Airport Inn. That's across from the airport, but people say their pizza is the best on the island.
Really?
Don't know, but they said if you're not willing to go anywhere, if you're not willing to move fast, that the Airport Inn has the best pizza on the island. But if you like barbecue, there's Sully's. And then Perdino's is kind of like the higher end, a little bit more of a finer dine out here, which is pretty doggone good too.
Perdino's is looks like an old school Italian mob movie.
Yeah. There's not like a ton of windows in there.
Like the wood, so you're waiting for Vito to sit down and make an offer you can't refuse or something like that.
Right.
The owner I want, because I ate there a couple of times. The owner comes out and he talks the Italian. That's exactly how he talks about it, like that right there. I'm like, "Ooh, man, I'm not messing around in this restaurant." You know what I mean?
No, yeah, good. I love it. It's a very authentic feel.
Yeah.
So, B, leave us with one thing. What's one thing about Groseal that surprised you extremely?
Probably just the overall community feel that you get from Groseal. Like I knew I was going to a place that's quiet, but the people are active. You know what I mean? Like there's a seek to help people in the community. There's a seek to like do things together in the community. So just the overall communal feel, I think, has been my biggest surprise. I thought people would just be really quiet and to themselves, and that's not necessarily the case. Like you still get a place that really wants people connected and helping each other out. I think that's been my biggest surprise out here.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Don's in the market, so
That's
he's probably going to move out there. So
you are,
me and myself. So we'll see.
Let's go.
Brian,
Brick Oven Pizza's right next door.
Brian, you brought out some really good points. Didn't know anything about that. You did a great job, Brian.
Okay,
Thank you very much. You really shed a lot of light on there, and I there might be some of our clients might be moving in that direction, or maybe even us.
I highly recommend it. It's been fantastic, and this is a guy that I lived in Lincoln Park for ever, and I loved it too. I work in the community, and when I came out here, like I can't imagine myself going anywhere else now that I'm here.
Yeah, that sounds like it. Sounds like you're really ensconced there. That's awesome to hear. That you're really happy there.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, my friend. Well, listen, if you see a bunch of people with Talking Real Estate shirts, in the hardware store, drinking beer, shooting guns,
or at Lloyd's,
Saws, or Lloyd's, see him a shout out. All right.
Will do, guys. Thanks for having me. I appreciate
Brian.
it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Brian Ambrose. We'll see you, my friend. See you later. Brian. All right, but we'll see ya.
Thanks, guys.
Brian, a little shout out in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Give me a little shout out in the chat. That man, he can tell you all kinds of good things. That was pretty awesome.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
There's some stuff there that I would never. That was awesome. There was some really, really good stuff in there about being outside in nature. When I'm out there showing houses, you see people running on the asphalt walkway along what is that? Not Meridian. What's that street?
Macomb?
No, it's Meridian.
Meridian.
The main street going all the way through there, and the airport down there. They have a circus down. Not a circus, but a carnival down there every year. And,
yeah.
I mean, he probably hasn't seen it because he hasn't been there that long, but. Yeah, they got a carnival. I went down there before. It's really cool. It's really right at the end of the island. It's a really cool place.
I've
So-
never been to Crozio.
Oh, we're gonna take you there. We're gonna take you, Mel. We're taking Mel. We're going on location. We're gonna take Mel over to Brian's house and get some pizza to the next door neighbor and everything else.
Shoot some guns.
That's right. Shoot some guns, drink some beer, and play with some hardware. Guys, the interview with Brian went a little longer than we normally do, but like Don said, that's what we do the city highlight for, my city highlight, because we want people that know their city to tell us the stuff that people don't know. Like, there's tons of stuff, right?
Yeah, that was
Just
awesome.
like Tara last week. I mean, and like Lisa with Laveau, and just Canton. There's so much stuff. There's so much stuff that's great about your city. So anybody that would like to be a My City Highlight person, it's real easy. It's just a conversation, right?
Yeah,
We
just
make it
like
real
this.
easy for folks. So we had a couple guests that were nervous, and it's just a conversation back and forth. So if you want to be My City Highlight for your city, reach out to us.
Let us know. We would love to
Absolutely.
have anybody on in
Brian
any city.
Ambrose, we love you. Let's go real quick because we don't run out of time here, guys. Let's go to things realtors see, Mel. Let's make that happen.
Let's do a couple of them.
Yeah, let's just do two. So go ahead and open, minimize the screen.
This one?
Yep. And open one of those up.
Let's do this one.
Oh boy.
And then go back to my face on the bottom. There you go. And go share screen. Nope. 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 To the left.
Oh.
You got it. There you go. We'll get there, ladies and gentlemen. Don't you worry about that.
Click
Application.
on the
open.
application window.
Yeah. And open up.
Show.
All right. So that'll let you take this one. All right. Let you take the cake.
All right,
back to it. Go back to it.
So I got a house that I'm going to be listing, and the landlord, he wanted me to go over there. He's out of town. Go over there and check the house out because tenants have moved out, and there's all kinds of stuff in this house. And this is one of the things that he wanted me to send him pictures of what it looked like in video. And here's the sink in the kitchen filled, and I just looked at it, took a picture of it, like, I can't understand somebody would leave something like that, but
I mean, it's crazy. Like, look at the sink. Are you kidding?
What the heck? And the rest of the house is a mess too. There's stuff all over the floor. There's stuff spilled on the floor. It was just really.
So, folks in
This
the
is
audience,
gross
real
to
quick, would you buy a house if the sink was filled up and looked like that? Get in the chat for us and tell us if you would buy a house if it looked like that.
And if you think about being a landlord, sometimes you come across this type of stuff. So.
Right, absolutely you do. So let's go down to the bottom one. Yep, that one there. Yep. So we got a ew from Kathy Court. I can hear her saying it too. So
There's
if you would
another
buy a
one.
house,
I'll have one more.
you saw that. Oh,
The next one right there, yeah. Now this sums it up right here.
look at that face. Look at
No, the gross.
Where's it at?
there it is. Yep.
There you go. There it is. It sums it up
Gross,
right
yeah.
there. All right,
Yeah.
so one more about.
Yeah, clean house sells fast, so that's exactly true. So let's do one more.
Hard no, exactly. Yeah, Kathy.
Might as well screen. There you go. Close that. Yeah, and then open up. Let's see. Yeah, want to do data if you don't. No, I'll do that one. Okay. Yeah, that's good. That's a good one. So go back to us. Yeah, share screen. There you got it. All right, so we got one more, ladies and gentlemen. One more. This one, I swear to God, I saw this. Go to our screen.
When you sent this, I saw this.
I
I'm
saw
like, what
this.
the heck is this?
So I'm going to show a client a house, right? And I saw this. It was on an angle, so it was sideways. So it took me a second. So if you can't read that sign, guys, it says, "I'd rather be naked" on a cardboard piece of cardboard.
Is it on the wall or on the ceiling?
In the basement, it's like just sitting in a pile.
Oh, okay.
But it just says,
Yeah.
"I would rather be naked." So somebody took the time to draw out, I'd rather be naked, naked. They like spelled it out and everything. I looked at the client, I'm like, let's get the heck out of here. So if you ever run into something goofy and weird like that, put it in the chat. If you ever saw something weird on the wall written or whatever.
Standing on a corner.
Yeah, no kidding. Like that sign that should be like Roxy should be doing this on the corner, right? You know what I mean?
Looked like it was drilled in. Like they took the
No,
time to
it's just
drill it
those are
in.
dots. Those are just dots.
Oh,
We're just-
okay.
It says, "I'd rather be naked." I'm like, client, let's go. Let's get the heck out of here. That was not my house. Really? That was not my house.
Not mine either. I don't know why my name's there. Don't throw me into that.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen. So let's go back to us. Close that. Close that screen. Yep. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a great show. We love having Brian Ambrose on again. The guy's legendary downriver. I mean, like they know him far and wide. So, but it was just good information.
It was
yeah?
awesome. It was very awesome.
Yeah. And it makes it fun for us and Mel. we enjoy that. So thanks for hanging with us a little longer today. It's about 45 minutes to the half hour. So I'm Scott.
I'm Don.
I'm Mel.
And we're talking real estate.
See ya.